Well, I am feeling a sense of kind of like things are in the middle of big changes, both at Tesla and in the economy, and potentially for the stock market as well. Big changes ahead. And well, some of those things are going to be pretty obvious as we talk about the news this morning. Let's start with Sawyer Merritt reporting this. Elon Musk has confirmed that after 3.5 years, Tesla will finally be getting rid of the FSD nag with FSD version 12.4, which is supposed to be rolling out next week. Man, this will change everything for so many people. I know it'll change things for me. I gave up on full self-driving, 2 years ago on long trips because I just couldn't. I choosing back and forth between kind of having a really good automatic driving system and having full self-driving. The nag was the determiner. I just was preferring to go back to level 2, I guess you might call it. Anyway, that's going to happen in about 1 to 2 weeks. It's almost, he says, it's almost completed the retraining models. The final touches are for comfort, as it is sometimes accelerates or brakes too fast for most people's taste. 12.5 and 12.6 are in various stages of testing, he says. We're getting into rare, complex situations, for instance, going down a narrow one-way road, encountering a road closure, or having to reverse out to find a new route. That closure also needs to be communicated to the rest of the fleet so you don't get a whole bunch of Teslas stuck down a road. So, in other words, there's going to be a way for a closure like that to be communicated so that nobody else goes down that same road and gets stuck in that same situation. Okay, this is from Squawk on the Street, CNBC, and it is the Uber CEO, Dara Harshawas. And anyway, I'm not even going to try. A very long name. Anyway, he says, I would never underestimate Elon Musk and Tesla. They are clearly the leaders in EVs. That's according to the Uber CEO. Elon Musk again saying this morning, we must focus on FSD for the other 99% of the fleet, and Cybertruck will be finished and ready to go in about 4 months. Oh, I'm sorry, in a few months rather, not 4 months. So people are like, how come I still don't have FSD on my Cybertruck? It's because they need to get the full on, ready to go, 100%. So what is that saying? He's saying, once again, a few months away, 3 months from yesterday would be 8/8, because yesterday was 5/8. I can do the math. So on 8/8, he's going to have FSD solved. That's what he's feeling right now. And based on everything that you just heard, that would also seem to make sense. So Morgan Stanley's Adam Jonas said, should Tesla's ongoing restructure actions be a lesson for other auto companies? And he says, probably yes. Quote, as Tesla continues to shift incremental capex away from the automotive side of the house and towards the data computer learning robotics side of the house, we see a real chance that the broader industry, legacy players and EV startups alike, will follow. We've also had reporting from others that feel that there's not a chance in the world that BYD is going to be able to do their own system. What do you call it? Yeah. Kia and Hyundai. Hyundai was working on their own FSD system. They've given up. They've just fired their whole team. No, Tesla has got this. They got it. It's going to happen. It's a done deal. And some of these other companies are going to have to follow based on Hyundai giving up. I would not be surprised to see them be one of the ones who would be first in line to get Tesla's licensing. Sawyer Merritt says this morning, this is switching to energy now. Energy Digital, the magazine, the analysis company, has ranked Tesla the #1 energy storage company in the world. Quote, Tesla Energy's energy storage business has never been better, despite only launching its energy storage arm in 2015. As of 2023, the company had an output of 14.7 gigawatt hours in battery energy storage systems. End quote. Of course, that they're saying makes them #1 in the world. This is Randy Kirk. Now, did you check out all that news? All that news is pointing towards one thing, right? Tesla is no longer going to be emphasizing the automotive side of the business. Does that, well, let me just hold on for just a second. Hit like, hit the like button, please. Hit subscribe, hit notify. Later today, Cern Basher will be here. We did have Scott Walter yesterday. Some of you didn't watch that. I'm not sure why not. It was incredible, but we'll talk about that in a minute. I'll leave a card in a while. All right. And then, of course, Patreon. It would be helpful to have a few more folks joining up on Patreon. You got the $3 level with no gifts, no nothing. Just thank you very much. $5 level, you get one book, one ebook, your choice of any of those four. And then if you go to the $10 level, you can have 2 out of those 4 books as ebooks. Or you can have the Cybertruck bottle opener at $25 value. All right. The shift is happening and it's being widely reported, but the truth of the situation, it just hasn't set into the general public yet. So this is on the economic side, the shift on the economic side. Consumer household budgets are strained. No longer easy riding. The excess money from COVID has run out. According to some reporting that I saw just yesterday, and maybe Cern will have something about this later today, it ran out this week. Okay. I don't know how they know that exactly. Bank of America said they thought that the consumer would have till the end of summer, and maybe they do. But whether it's the end of summer or whether it's now, the consumer has run out. And there's plenty of reporting, like consumers. I reported this yesterday morning, consumers pulling away from the credit market, not borrowing as much, not looking for auto loans, not looking for consumer loans. And that means what? That means discretionary spending is drying up. We've been seeing some hints of this before, but now it's even more evidence. In fact, the earnings reports were full of surprises, full of evidence from the fast food chains, from Uber, from Starbucks, from Netflix, from Disney, and others who depend on this discretionary money, all of them feeling it already showing up in either their sales or their earnings, or they are talking about it in their guidance. So even though I reported yesterday that only 100 out of the 500 S&P companies ever mentioned the word recession, which was down a lot from the last quarter, this is not the same as discretionary spending like eating out in fast food restaurants. All right. Now, small businesses have been noting this since last month, even the month before. Their confidence levels are down, and so are consumer confidence levels down. So when you got consumer confidence and small business confidence down, that's not a place where people are going to be wanting to go out and buy that brand new refrigerator. The auto industry also seems to be stalled and might be headed even lower. Since last fall, I've said if there's going to be an actual recession, it will be because the consumer runs out of money. I don't see anything else that really is going to break it. I think what's going to break it is going to be the consumer just stops spending. And that can happen so fast. And then when the consumer stops spending and companies all of a sudden see their sales going down, they lay off, and then you get this ratcheting effect. Okay. Anyway, the consumer has been propped up, by the COVID spending. They're no longer propped up, and they're no longer going to be able to be the prop for the overall economy, which they have been for the last 2 years or so. And there's nothing else to fill in the blank. So what does that mean for Tesla? Well, the switch towards services and AI by Tesla, going over into the FSD and putting the emphasis on that, emphasis on Dojo, emphasis on eventually the robotaxi systems, emphasis on Optimus. That's happening at an absolute perfect time. That doesn't mean they're going to stop trying to sell as many vehicles as they possibly can. It doesn't mean that the move by the consumer to BEVs is over. I don't believe that at all. But it does mean that Tesla will not regain their. That does mean that they will have to work harder for those sales. Tesla is going to have to work much harder to get those sales. I keep saying I don't think it's going to happen just by dropping price. They got to be able to advertise the fact that their prices are low. And the easier path is to create a unique selling proposition in 2024 and 2025 that make Tesla cars and trucks as compelling as they were in 2020 through 2023. That would be FSD and a broader product line, which are the two things that we're going to be getting. All right, then there's this from the Independent. The number of Americans applying for unemployment benefits jumped to its highest levels in more than 8 months last week after being flat for like 9 weeks in a row. And another sign that the labor market may be softening. Unemployment claims for the week ending May 4 rose by 22,000 to 231,000, up from 209 the week before. Last week's claims were the most since the final week of August of 2023. The 4-week average of claims rose by 4,750 to 215,000. In total, 1.79 million Americans were collecting jobless benefits. That's only up 17,000 from the previous week. That is the softest, the most moderate way that we can look at it, and that's up 17,000. All right. And of course, this is just one of the labor indicators. There have been multiple other labor indicators showing this softening in the labor market. All right. So where are markets now? As we talk about all of these things, how are markets responding this morning? Well, we start with Tesla down 9 whole cents. Actually, it was down a lot more earlier. It has been in the green, then it dipped down, and now it's headed back toward the green. The Dow Jones is up 71. Continuing its multiple days in a row of being in the green. NASDAQ down 16, S&P up $3.49, and the Magnificent Seven look like a Christmas tree. Red, green, red, green, red, green, red, green. With NVIDIA, though, down 12 to 891, falling back under 900 again. And the Cathie Woods also mixed, but mostly down slightly. And even the ones that are up slightly. I would say Inseego Corporation is down very slightly. It is down 0.0. Anyway, let's go on. Let's look at the percentages. Percentages are like this. We have the Dow up 0.19%, NASDAQ down 0.09%, S&P up 0.07%, and Tesla down 0.23%, still sitting at right now at about 33 cents down. Okay, let's go ahead and look at bonds. And the bonds this morning were up. They continue up almost 2 basis points on the 10-year. And that is at 4.502, getting back over that 4.5 number again. We've got the 2-year down a bit, almost down 2 basis points at 4.826. That would be shrinking that amount again, getting closer to 30 basis points again. Back and forth we go, back and forth we go. And the 2-month is almost even at 5.393, which is again back to that 80-something basis points. All right, let's take a look at oil. Oil down up 41 cents this morning, 79.40, and Brent at 83.91. We got natural gas up again, 1.74, breaking 2.25. Okay, so this is getting higher and higher on natural gas. We've got gold up 6 at 23.29, back in that same trading range. We have got copper up 0.26 at 4.55, still 20 cents under its all-time high. We have got the dollar around flat this morning. We've got Bitcoin down another 978, 61 to 60. Earlier this morning, it looked like it might break below 60,000, but now it's popped back a bit. And then we have got, that is everything that we've got, everything that we want to talk about this morning, except if you didn't see that Scott Walter video yesterday. It was very, very, very insightful, very useful, very helpful. So I'm going to put the card right here. You can go check that out right now. And then later today, as mentioned, Cern Basher will be around. And tomorrow, I do have a Brian White video that we already recorded earlier in the week. Don't know for sure whether I will have a good news Thursday tonight. That all depends on where we are in the world down here in, where are we now? Provincetown in the Cape Cod area. Going to go tour all the historic spots. I didn't know that our unit that we're sitting in right now is only about a few hundred yards from where the Pilgrims landed here in Provincetown a big long time ago. All right, that's all I got for you today. Until later, well, it's been great talking to you.